On this edition of the news, a vehicle from the Mandalorian is rumoured to be on the way, and we think we know what it is. We have a look at the MCM Comic Con booth in London, a very unusual find in Hong Kong of... We'll show some Walmart bargains, we'll have a look at some collections, a new Disney Parks droid figure, the rare Palpatine figure has been found in the UK, and more news about the Vintage Collection Archive Edition book. Coming soon. All this and more coming up. Welcome to my television Toy Showcase channel. Thank you for joining me once again. This video is going to be humongous. What I've written down, it looks huge. It's going to be better than the thumbnail. You're already in for a treat. First up is the information from yakface.com. Talked about the rumoured vehicle. We've known about this for a little bit of a while, but apparently this is what I didn't know. The conventions we just had, Paris Comic Con, London Comic Con, apparently this vehicle was supposed to be like revealed for the first time. So they must have had a botch on it. There must have been something wrong with the paint apps, or the photography didn't turn up, or whatever it was. We didn't hear about it, but because it was listed somewhere where this image turned up, I believe it is Big Bad Toy Store, then it was removed. So we have some information that the vehicle is on the way. It's not just rumor, it's almost confirmed, this close to being confirmed. Then again, Hasbro might turn around and cancel it. We don't know these things, but it is going to be, I believe, the Razor Crest. This will be the Mandalorian ship we've seen in the trailers, and the trailer, I didn't do a reaction on the second trailer, but awesome! Much better. That is a good representation of how Star Wars should look. The grittiness, the grime, just give us sex and violence and a good story. The Mandalorian will be a hit. The only thing I would like to see now is an image. If anyone has one, tag me in it on the internet. Vintage Collection, Mandalorian vehicle. Not the one that we know about, not the ATST, this new one, which is the Razor Crest. Will be exciting to see. A little bit of like business kind of news. The price of Black Series is set to go up around about May next year from an average price of US dollars of $19.99 recommended retail price up to $21.49. They've had the same price since 2013, so you know, inflation, prices go up, tariffs, whatever. Don't care what political spin you can put on it. All things go up eventually. The press release that Hasbro did mention Black Series, but didn't say anything about Vintage going up. Maybe they've gone up too many times over the years, so they're fine for the time being. In Australia, recommended retail price on those is like $24.99 or $25. It's very steep for those, and you guys overseas look at that and go, whoa, I can get mine for $12.95 or whatever. It's yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, speaking of Black Series, Ben Lutontown, I've shown pictures of his collection before. Have a look at this new picture he sent me. Look at them all stacked up to the... That is impressive. That is pretty close to the 100 plus exclusives. So, how many figures do you think sitting on the shelf there? 150? Or maybe close to 100. Looks fantastic. The Vintage Collection book, the Star Wars Vintage Collection Archive Edition book. We've talked about this in the past. This was a Kickstarter of a book, and it got Kickstarter really well because a lot of backers got behind it. For those who didn't, you can get this book on pre-order from Big Bad. So as I was saying, from Big Bad Toy Store, you can pre-order this book. Did you notice the cut there? Battery died. We're back several hours later. It's a very cool book. A lot of you have asked about it, so I thought I'd tell you how to get it. Stateside, it was much easier for you guys to Kickstarter. Internationally, a little bit more difficult, and having multiple people pre-order to get it. But now this is the easiest way. Big Bad Toy Store, put your pre-order in. December availability. Excellent stuff. Oh, and the price on that will be $69.99 US. Disney Parks. They have a new droid for the holidays. This one is, I think it's got to be Halloween based, but people are saying it's a Christmas ornament design. Check the picture out on the screen there. This one is called, as you can see in the picture, BB-19H. So 19 holidays. I thought it was Halloween. It's probably Christmas. I'm probably wrong. It's orange and gold, so I saw the orange and I assumed it was Halloween. It's probably for Christmas, but it's available at Disney parks. I think it might be available in Disney stores. They won't be available here in Australia, so bad luck there to you guys. Moving on to an interesting story. My friend James Eichbaum. Now he's in Hong Kong at the moment, been traveling the world, and of course he sent me a picture from Toys R Us in Hong Kong, the one I've been to way back in the year 2000. Anyway, this is on the shelf. Check it out! The 20th anniversary Phantom Menace Darth Maul. And here is the figure itself. Beautiful, beautiful. The one he found, he said, is a little bit beat up. The price there, $249.90. It looks horrendously expensive, but in fact, it is converted into US dollars, $31.80, or roughly 32 US dollars. In Aussie dollars, that's 46. In pounds, it's only £25. Wow, sitting on the pegs. A convention exclusive, available to walk into a store and buy it off the pegs. Unbelievable. Also, in the clearance aisles, or in the toy aisles overseas, SoCal Collector on YouTube had this video to share. Check out what he found.
Yeah. But take a look at this. Now I don't really collect these, but they are $6 now, I think, versus $9, $9.84, which is $10-ish. But if you have kids and you collect these, and $6 is not bad. But take a look at this right here. The First Order Jet Trooper, the Walmart exclusive, is now only $11.25. And yeah. So I guess they're trying to clear out and the box is nice too. I guess they're trying to clear out some of the Triple Force Friday stuff. So yeah.
So that's in the Walmart. Very cheap price for the Galaxy of Adventures stuff, already going on clearance, as well as the First Order Jet Trooper. I can't believe that was only $11. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. If you haven't got this already and you live in the US and you've got a Walmart near you, go and get this figure. This is amazing. You'll make the rest of the international audience quite envious. Also, I want to share this with you from his GameStop.
Thank you. Oh, I almost forgot. They did restock on these, re-releasing on the Imperial Shock Trooper. Now it's definitely a good time to pick it up. $24.99 with a 20% discount. This is a must. Alright.
Very cool. Thank you, SoCal Collector. Moving on. This one came from my subscriber Luke Reviews 13. Oh, he's right here. This figure from The Last Jedi line of packaging, the 3.75 inch movie line. They don't make these anymore, by the way, if you're wondering. This figure was the most hardest out of the set to get. Apparently it was a European exclusive, but in Europe I couldn't find it. I have heard reports of it being available in a comic shop in Canada, but at the moment, this figure, in some home bargain stores in the UK, this is on the shelf for £1.99. These go online on eBay for $60. Like, cha-ching! Yeah. So if I don't have a picture to represent it, I did have one, but I lost it. It was on Instagram and no one put hashtag Palpatine. I tried to look for this picture. It was on the shelf at Home Bargains and I want to share it with you. My subscriber told me in the comments and I'm like, yes, I'm going to talk about that. So yes, Home Bargains, $1.99. UK fans, awesome. Those of you who live in the US who really, really want this figure, this is the Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight. This was exclusive here in Australia at Zing Pop Culture stores. There are still some sitting on the peg, so if you want one, get out there and find one. If you're in the US and you know it's coming to Walmart, Jedi Temple Archives had this available on the 20th of November. So that's when it will start appearing online on Walmart's online site and also in stores from that date afterwards. So don't go down there on the 20th and expect it to be sitting there. It may be, you know, it might take a few days to get there, but yes, he's coming. If you guys are holding out, he's on his way. The Obi-Wan and Anakin that were shown at Paris Comic-Con revealed for the first time. They are due May 2020. I didn't pass that information on last time I revealed it, so I just thought I'd share that with you as well. Just put Lukey back there. Now, the two vintage collection figures that were revealed, which were the Mandalorian and Cara Dune, as well as Zori Bliss and the Knight of Ren in the Black series. They are due March of 2020. Now it's time to go back to the MCM London Comic-Con, and here we have Patrick Snyder and Sam Smith from Hasbro getting interviewed by Jedi News. The first thing they're going to talk about is the figures they have in the booth and a little spoiler right at the end.
So tell us about the reveals tonight.
Absolutely. We've got 2 Black Series items and 1 vintage item. I'll talk about the vintage item and Sam about the Black Series. So we have heard from the vintage fans, it's a very fair cry about the Mandalorian. Looks amazing, so exciting, so many great Mandalorian items in our Black Series line. Nothing in the vintage line until now. So yesterday, at Paris Comic-Con, we revealed the first vintage Mandalorian figure, Cara Dune, and today we reveal the Mandalorian himself in beautiful 3 3/4 inch scale, based on that great Pascal portrait, Pedro Pascal.
He looks amazing.
He looks amazing. He's got the great rifle, you know, harkening back to the holiday special. Great cloak, accessories. We're really excited to get the Mandalorian figures in the line, and we will have at least 1 more vintage Mandalorian reveal over the course of the next week.
That's right. The Mandalorian has 1 more figure, TVC figure, to be released. He didn't specifically say figure, so it could be that Razor Crest we talked about at the beginning, or it could be another action figure. Maybe Carl Weathers. Don't know. But excellent that we're getting that. Then Jedi News wanted to ask a question about the retro collection. Check this out.
So one of the biggest things that our fans mentioned on Facebook when they're watching on stream is there's been no real pullback against the retro collection. The retro collection's gone down really, really well. What do you guys think of the retro collection? Will we see it again maybe?
I think, you know, Sam clearly hates the retro collection. He's wearing a retro collection shirt.
I was going to come on to his shirts in a minute. That was another question.
Yes. No, we love the retro collection. I always try to give credit. Sam Smith here brainstormed that item, so that's purely out of his brain. It's great. We love it for a lot of reasons. We love the fact that it gives us a new expression in the line. It's really cool. It brings us back to our childhood collecting those figures. We were excited to see the response from both kind of the more casual fans like it because it has that throwback aspect. And I think it's funny, the more established fans, I think, were a little hesitant at first, but then when they came out, they were like, yeah, these are cool, we want them. So I think it's cool getting the kind of redos of the original figures and also the new Grand Moff Tarkin. So as we always say, like, if fans want something, we'll probably do more in the future. So no announcements yet, but hopefully we'll see more retro in the future.
Apologies for the sound quality in the video. We can't do much about it, but hopefully you can hear. This is the retro collection. Here we have the Stormtrooper. If this was the brainchild of Sam Smith, lead designer of Hasbro, thank you, my friend. These are brilliant. I love them. Everyone who owns them just wants them. The only tiny little, you know, thing I can say is the cardstock's so thin. These things don't sit flat. If you can see, they're not. I've flattened this one out, but they just seem to little tiny bit of curl in it once they get some moisture. But a thicker cardstock, you'll be sweet. Yeah, thank you, Sam. Then the Hasbro guys wanted to talk about distribution.
So I'm going to say that distribution has got so much better. You know, it really has gone up a notch. It's still not there yet. So what are you doing behind the scenes to reassure all of us here in the UK and across Europe that we will get there eventually?
Sam, do you want to just kidding? We have an unspoken agreement. Any questions about cauldrons and buttons and kind of the lore, Sam, he always gives the distribution questions to me. No, so it's a long road. It's one we're committed to. I always say, like, it's kind of crazy that we have product, fans want the product, they want to pay money for the product, and we can't figure that out. So know when there are distribution challenges, like as a business, like we feel those as well. Those are painful for us as well. So it's not like we don't care or we're just sitting back. It is very challenging. It's a complex supply chain. We've done things over the years to improve it. We've moved, last year we announced at San Diego Comic-Con that in our Vintage and Black Series lines, we were going to less waves, more figures per wave, and it's been easier for retailers to work through those waves. Retailers aren't missing waves anymore. We announced at New York Comic-Con we're going to 5-language packaging. Now the EU will no longer have to hit their own minimum order quantity because it's globally pulled packaging, so it'll get more items here. I mentioned our business meetings. We've had a fan summit for the past 3 years. Distribution is something we're talking about. We're communicating more. We're setting up monthly calls to get that forecasting right. So it's something we're committed to. It's a long road, but hopefully we're making steps, and it sounds like it's improved this year. Hopefully it'll be better next year, and eventually we'll get there.
As you can see from their end, they're doing their best. Lots of things, you know, there's a chain of command from when it leaves Hasbro to when it gets to consumer. There's wholesalers, there's retailers, there's so many avenues that kind of prevent us from getting the figures because, you know, internationally it's very difficult sometimes to get their hands on figures, but it is starting to work. We are starting to get figures on the shelves, which is better than it's ever been. I'll say that for the time being. Let's talk about figure stands. Go to the tape.
So, figure stands is obviously a hot topic. It was mentioned in the Q&A. Years ago you did vintage stands, and I know you've been trying the Black Series stands in some of the exclusive products. Is there a better path that you can maybe trial that by maybe putting them out in packs like you did previously?
I think, you know, definitely in coming to these conventions, we get a lot of feedback on that, and it's a great takeaway. There's definitely, we have more plans of things to do, several stands in the pipeline. Can't speak to what those items are directly, but your feedback is absolutely heard.
It's something we're always talking about, so we're aware of the want, we're aware of the ask. It's figuring out the right way to do it. Putting out so we tried through kind of the Black Series exclusives. Maybe it's right for the future in mainline. It would be tough kind of in a vintage card back to fit a stand in there without breaking the aesthetic. A stand pack isn't something that would be great in brick and mortar retail, so it's about kind of figuring out the right way to do that. We wouldn't want to launch an item, have it not succeed, and then kind of we've killed that for the future. So we're aware of the ask and we're working to meet it.
The one thing I'll add to that is they didn't like the idea of having figure stands sold on their own, like in a little baggie or in a box or something. You know, I want to buy 10 figure stands for my 6-inch Black Series stuff. They didn't like the idea, but I'm sure fans would eat that up. They would eat that up.
Going back to Jabba's playset in the vintage line, that was a really, really well received product. Were you surprised at how well received that was coming off the back of the barge, or what did you expect it to do?
So, I mean, ultimately what the barge allowed us to do, because of its success, it really showcased, all right, the passionate fan base is very much still here for the vintage collection. It was a huge success, and ultimately it allowed us to take some bolder risks in terms of the mainline, in terms of exclusives that really were championed by the fact that the barge was able to happen. So, you know, ultimately it just became back-to-back success story in terms of, you know, because of the barge we were able to do the skip, which again is a great new addition to the vintage collection. And again, scaling it appropriately to that vehicle. In terms of Jabba's playset, you know, we haven't really had a lot of playsets in the line. We certainly haven't had a lot of success with them. So, again, being able to approach that, build something new like that directly for the vintage collection, I mean, I think we knew it was going to be good. It was definitely the right time. It was a great way to introduce some characters back into the card back, and again, just being able to go in and research into the known Tauntaun head, but also the obscurity of the Jerva, and try and find that portrait. So,
and I think it was the right target. I think we've done kind of more kid-focused playsets in the past, and definitely, you know, it's the fan community that really wants to build out those worlds. So we're excited to see the response. You know, I think hopefully we'll see some more vintage playsets in the future.
There's still a lot of people that don't have that, so if there's the opportunity to push out a few more, especially coming up to holiday season. I don't know how that pans out, but there are lots of people, and we never got a European release either, so something to bear in mind. It is a great product.
That distribution issue again. Yep.
Playsets for the collector is what they should focus on, because playsets for the kids aren't buying the playsets, they buy other things now. So the collector, hence behind here, this playset, much loved, everybody wants a piece of it. That is for the collector, the cooler stuff. The kids buy it too, but the real, you know, 3.75 inch collectors, they want this sort of stuff. Imagine if they brought out a Hoth one. Brown. Brilliant. And finally they finish up with what's coming next.
So we'll be in Italy in 6 days, we'll be in first one of the day after that will be in Germany for Comic-Con Dortmund in December. And then after that, it'll be New York Toy Fair. We'll have a lot of stuff to reveal at New York Toy Fair.
Well, I look forward to seeing you in New York. Safe travels. Thank you very much for taking time.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, James. Thanks all.
Thank you.
Of course, they're coming up to the conventions in Italy and Spain, and then later on in December. That sounds exciting. Not to mention the Toy Fair next year in February, I believe it is, New York Toy Fair. That is going to be lit. I think there's going to be a lot of stuff. Like you said, lots of stuff. It'll be blockbuster. It won't be one or two figures. It'll be ranges and lines, all good stuff. Awesome stuff. Well, thank you for watching. Thank you, Jedi News, for your video interview. That you asked some good questions, the kind of questions that I would like to ask if I ever went there. I would probably give them a microphone to speak into instead of using the onboard mic of the camera. Conventions can be noisy. I've been to many of them. It's like echoey, noisy all day long. So thank you anyway for the footage. It is fantastic. The Toy Fair in New York City, I would like to go to that. That excites me. I want to go there and interview these two guys and ask them a range of questions. You know, lots of stuff that collectors that leave comments in my things want to know about, and I want you guys to know it because you are the fans of the stuff. You know, you'll get the casual fans say, why aren't you making this figure? Why aren't we doing that? Hasbro has a guideline that says you need to make these things because we've got this property coming up, Mandalorian, Rise of Skywalker, and so things like the retro collection kind of get put on the back burner for a while, even the archive collection, but on the back burner for a while. Once those properties start to move on and the figures come out for them, then we get into the stuff that they can go back and do because that's Hasbro's brainchild. That's what they want to do, but they're also licensed to make stuff for now for the movies, of course, and the TV shows. Awesome stuff. Thank you very much today for watching. My name's Usualmike. Thank you to my sponsor, Aussie Sci-Fi Collectibles, for all your sci-fi, Marvel, DC, TV and movies, WWE. Check them out today. Link in the description down below. If you'd like to buy some merch, check out my shirts. All my shirts are available in my Redbubble store. Buying from the store helps out the channel, so thank you very much. If you'd like to follow me on social media, I'm on Twitter at Usualmike30 or on Instagram at Usualmike Television. And if you'd like to send some fan mail, it's up here at PO Box 957, Lismore, New South Wales 2480, Australia. And if you haven't done so already, hit subscribe, tap that little bell for notifications, slap a like on the video if you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. All the best.